Let's get going. Sorry, it's just something that I do sometimes.
You know something that I do sometimes?
Introduce the episode of Super.
Introduce the episode of
What?
Super Cast Brothers, the only Super Smash Brothers themed podcast where we talk about things because this is the only one that we do.
Yeah.
We're not on any other Smash Brothers themed podcast. We are on another podcast. That's Age of Wada. You know, anything Jonno or Lister want to talk about, that's us.
Yeah.
I'm Lister, otherwise known as Zantok. That's Jonno, otherwise known as... I mean, really just Jonno. I could say some of your old names, but really nothing applies. What am I going to call you, Jay?
No.
We're going to call you Jay Noodles. You were Nuge for like a month or two.
That's my subreddit handle.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I guess it's my Reddit handle. Let's talk about. There you go. Nuge. Yeah, that's Jonno just rearranged.
Yep.
Yep.
Not quite backwards, because then it'd be Onage, which would be weird.
That's my account name on other platforms.
Oh.
Yeah, you can find me there and see.
I don't think I will.
Positioning I'm doing.
No, thank you. I'm good. I don't need to see that.
Show me cash. Well, I know a quick way for that.
Okay.
Nice shirt.
Give money.
Very appropriate.
Give money.
Okay. We'll talk about the Onage method later.
Okay. Any hoodle. This is Supercast Brothers. Of course, if this is your first time here, I'm surprised.
We're sorry.
Because this is not a character, this is not an episode that I would expect anybody to open up for their first time. Because who played Punch-Out? Not many people.
We have that one guy who's listening now. I love King Hippo.
Cool. I'm glad you do. Honestly, the fact that we didn't get Punch-Out on Switch 1 is like, what the fuck? You guys have the Joy-Con controllers. You can fucking do this again. Like, yeah, the Wii U, not a good time for the Punch-Out game. Punch-Out Wii maybe didn't sell so well. That's my assumption. I don't think it did. But Switch 2, hello, 2 Joy-Cons. You can simulate the punching again. Why are we not doing this? Where's Punch-Out?
Yep.
Like, I would get it. I would play it. Instead of arms, give us Punch-Out.
You know, the super secret boss in this game, instead of Donkey Kong or Mike Tyson, it could be Mario from the movie and have Chris Pratt voice him, so that way we can kind of take out our frustrations.
We can pick something better. Like, first of all, it wasn't supposed to be Donkey Kong, it was supposed to be Peach. Peach was going to be the secret boss fight at the end of the game, but then they're like, we don't want to punch a lady. It's like, okay, women do boxing, but all right.
Women do boxing. That's considering all the other, frankly, stereotypes in Punch-Out, that would have been not that far of a...
Yeah, that's the other reason why maybe Punch... They actually... somebody that has Nintendo information, I said, like, yeah, no, they're not avoiding Punch-Out because they're scared of stereotypes and bad reactions. That's not the reason. Like, okay, so what's the reason? Crickets? Like, okay, so it's money. Good to know. It's money.
Yep.
Honestly, I kind of want to think about this here for a second, because we are doing this is a Punch-Out episode. Who would be an actual serious choice of a crossover secret boss that they could add to a new Punch-Out in today's era?
Walhart.
I said a serious answer. We're not eating at Red Lobster tonight, okay?
But the Cheddar Bay biscuits.
No. Also, arms is too easy to answer with. You can't say arms. Nobody from the arms. Honestly, King K. Rool is my first thought. I was like, all right, it was Donkey Kong. King K. Rool is back in action with Bonanza. Spoilers, I just finished the game 100% last night.
Cheers.
I didn't get all the music discs because fuck that. It would require me to do some more shit in the Bonanza rehearsal, and I'm not doing it. No. I got a 97 out of 110 music discs. 5 of them are locked behind going back to Bonanza. No, thank you. Fuck you. But I got all the fossils, all the bananas. King K. Rool would be a natural evolution from Donkey Kong, and we've seen them box before in 64.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
King DDD he has Mount DDD's boxing ring. There you go.
Yeah, Harry would work.
Boxer.
Oh, I would actually love that. I would actually
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Or
Otherwise,
if they get an arms too, even put Harry in that game.
yeah, for sure. There's a lot of great choices from like fighting game, obscure Hisasukapon maybe.
Mm.
Um, yeah.
Mm.
Or you could do more obvious picks, like obviously like Bowser or whatever, like fine. Yeah.
If they want to revisit the idea of doing Peach, I would suggest do Daisy instead, because Daisy is already more often shown as the sporty or tomboy of the princesses. So have
Hmm.
her be the boxer, and it will give
Yeah.
Daisy more prominence. Like if we're gonna put Daisy into, I'm not okay. What I was about to say is that if we're gonna put Daisy in Smash, give her more games. What I don't mean, I don't mean only people who have good visibility should be in Smash. That's not what I mean when I was about to say that. But if we're going to bring her back into the limelight, Punch Out would be an interesting way to do it. If we're
Yeah.
not going to get another, if we're not going to get Super Mario Land 3, put her in
Hmm.
Punch Out.
Yeah. Put Tatanga and Punch Out.
She's playable in Wonder. Put her in more things.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, what other
Oh, for
nobody from
her.
Zelda really makes sense to me, and I wouldn't want to do Hitmonchan. I think Pokemon Company would kind of have a little fit about that.
Right. Right. A Goron could work if you wanted to go that route. That would be weird.
It would have to be Daruk, I think.
Mhm.
Maybe Darunia. It couldn't be
Brilliant.
Yunobo. Yunobo does not have the personality. He does
Can you
not have it. No.
imagine? Mm.
God, no.
Captain Falcon?
That's a possibility. I mean, F-Zero also needs to come back. We can go third party and throw in Tifa Lockhart.
Yeah, there you go. You could do
Uh,
from Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Silex?
Yeah, Silex works. There you go.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one.
Oh, there's a lot of choices.
There's a
Clearly.
lot of choices.
Hmm.
Big Man would not work. Would not
See
work.
it. I want to see it.
DJ Octavio would work a little bit better, but I still don't think I'd do it.
Yeah. Maybe Krusty Sean with all his many arms.
Speaking of Krusty Sean,
Well, what the hell? Did you make a character
speaking,
move?
no, but Krusty
Love
Sean
for him.
is going to be my first showcase for today's
Oh,
episode.
snap.
I did not make him into a character. I made him into an assist trophy.
That seems more sensible and beyond what I could comprehend.
Yeah. Character would not. I mean, no, I
Well,
don't.
he is for him to run and then like run on all of his limbs.
I don't know if gun to my head, I could put something together, but I don't really think I want to dedicate the brain power to that in this moment. So, Krusty Sean, as it says, Jumpy, what did this guy do? All he does in Splatoon is he sells shoes and he sells food. So, what?
Sounds great to me.
How do you make something out of that? Listen. So when the assist trophy pops open, Christian will appear driving his food truck. He'll just be there in the truck, kind of like Cap'n in the bus that he drives, but we're not doing anything like Cap'n. I don't like that one.
Yeah.
It's bad. When Christian arrives, a group of weak food items will fall out of the truck or fighters do come up towards him and eat, because yeah, it's a food truck.
Right.
Food flies out, you go to it, you eat the food. But Christian, he stays there a little bit longer than just that. He doesn't just appear, drop food, leave. No. He stays on the field, and as he stays, he will throw out more food-based items out around him, including food that it heals a little bit more than the starting food he threw out, but also other food-related items such as dead peppers, peanut butter and jellyfish sandwiches, super spicy curries, HP bananas, and poppins.
Yeah.
Most of these items are ones that were made up on the Smashtopia wiki by me. Additionally, Christian will continue to throw out even more items that gradually grow in strength until he decides it's time to pack up shop and drive off. So it's going to be like starting off with weak items and just slightly stronger items the longer he is on the field. And then eventually he'll leave. Now, Christian can be attacked. He can be KO'd. But if you attack Trusty Sean, then he's going to start to visibly panic in his truck and kind of cower with his arms over his head. And if enough damage is dealt to the truck, then Sean will roll up his window and drive off early, but not before dropping off even more powerful food-related items, such as Elizabeth's mushroom, banana juice, Paopu fruit, Maxim tomatoes, and rock roast. So you can either wait as he'll throw out some decent items, or you can immediately go in for the kill, and where he'll drop the strongest food items he can drop.
Yeah, yeah. Does the truck run you over? Can that hit you?
On exit, yes, but
Okay.
not on entrance. On entrance, he just kind of like pops out with the truck, but on exit, he will drive off. I don't know how far he drive before he winks at resistance. Maybe he goes all the way across the screen. I don't think that would be a good idea based on how some stages work, but maybe half battlefield,
Yeah,
I would
having
say.
having that trade off where he could hurt somebody, I think is good for what you're getting in the payoff.
Yeah, you don't want to be
That's
in front of the truck.
interesting, having a character that rewards you for hurting them.
Yeah, I mean technically all characters do because you get the KO point if you're
Yeah,
playing in time mode, not stock. But
you get a KO point if you KO Krusty Sean.
well, yeah,
Oh, good.
like any other system that you can KO.
Yeah.
Bitch ain't special.
You can get that for any assist trophy. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yes. Anything
Okay.
that any assist trophy you can KO and smash, including the boss, the stage bosses, give you a KO point, but only in time mode. It doesn't matter in
Okay.
stock because you're not playing for points in stock.
Right. Okay. Cool. That was fun. Okay. Well, let's get jiggy with it.
Oh, what do you
My
mean?
first. Well, I mean that my first Smashtopia showcase of the today is the Jiggy from Banjo and Kazooie.
What?
You know those fun puzzle pieces that you collect to progress throughout Gruntilda's lair and beyond, etc., etc., etc.
Is that how that game
Well,
works? I thought
I
you just
believe so.
raced.
Oh, and there, and you build your car, and there's like a mole of some sort that isn't annoying at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
that yeah. And then all the characters are like, ooh, but the you know, that game. That was a good, fun game. Fun
Yeah.
game. On the Xbox 360 system.
It's
Remember
the only
Xbox and when
Banjo Kazooie game, right?
yeah, yeah, you're right. No,
Yeah.
Yuka Replayly also recently came out.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That is the new Banjo game.
Right. Um, but Jiggy. So yeah, they're they're power stars to Mario and 64. It's the same idea. You collect them to progress through the game. So how do they work in Smash? Well, let's see, because not even I remember making this item, but I sure did. And we didn't decide to showcase it 2 minutes before the episode at all. Um so So I have it down that like Dragoon or Daybreak parts, 3 Jiggies appear on stage throughout the course of a match. They fall from straight from the top of the stage, and then they begin like tumbling and moving around. You know, they don't just stay in one place. Um, so there's a potential for them to fall off stage, and you can't catch them. But if you do grab them, the time like an icon appears next to your fighter's photo on the percentage area, like again like with the Dragoon. Collect all 3, and suddenly your fighter will glow gold. You hit any attack button, and they'll charge forward several feet in a supercharged Wonder Wing, which takes them about as far as a fully charged Quick Draw across the stage. You're totally impenetrable while performing this move. It has extremely heavy knockback and damage capabilities, so it's you get souped up with Wonder Wing.
It's an even
Collecting
better
3.
version of the attack than what Banjo Kazooie have in Smash. It sounds like.
Yep. Hey, that turned out pretty good. Good job, past me.
Good job, Jonno of the year
2018.
2022.
Oh wow. Sooner than I thought.
It's only 3 years ago, dude.
Oh, it was already 3 years ago? Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like your memory. Well, technically, longer than 3 years ago. 'Cause it was June, and this is
Oh, yeah.
the ass end of November. But well,
Where are we
December
today?
is when this episode's coming out. Ha! Recording dates. Fun stuff.
Oh, I submitted the Jiggy item right around the time TurboTaxer got married.
Was
June
it a
2020.
wedding gift for him?
I guess.
Does he play Banjo Kazooie? I've never heard him mention it.
Hell if I know.
Okay.
Probably has on like the
Maybe you
end of
could do another banjo thing for Flame Zone's wedding present.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
It'll be when we collaborate on the Gruntilda moveset. Finally.
Actually,
Hey,
that would be.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the timing's not going to work out for it, though. Someday.
No.
Someday.
Someday. Okay, cool.
All right. So for my second showcase, we're going with the stage. And this stage, we kind of talked about this game in our last Smash Dash, actually, because we talked about these characters and rate their chances. We're going to talk about split fiction here. So the game Split Fiction, I mentioned it before. It's you're going through fantasy worlds, you're going through sci-fi worlds, and these are stories that the two main characters created and were trying to get published. They have a whole variety of them. There's four main levels. No, there's more than that. There's several main levels, and there's also like little smaller sub chapters that can be found in each one. You'll go through sci-fi stuff, you'll go through fantasy stuff, and then there's a whole finale that I'm not going to talk about because that's spoilers. But it's a very interesting game going through all these different worlds, and I wanted to try and figure out, like, what can I do for a stage of this? Is there a way I can make a stage that represents both sides of the game, the sci-fi and the fantasy, and having it all meshed together while also being like these are both to their own unique things? Well, truthfully, I don't know how good this stage that I came up with is. I think it's really going to be more of a proof of concept than anything, and it could definitely be better. But I like it. It's serviceable. So I'm going to be
Yeah.
throwing up two layout images up here. The first one on top is going to be the fantasy layout. The second one on the bottom is going to be the sci-fi layout. So if you're watching the video, you'll see those on the screen. So you'll see that the stage has the very similar layout to it, kind of reversed in some aspects. The fantasy one, they're both divided. Both of them are divided into two halves. The top half of fantasy has a floating platform in the middle, and then these two platforms, these two thick platforms on the left and right, and then below that is solid floor and solid walls. Sci-fi is the opposite. There's still those two thick platforms in the middle, but now the solid walls are on the top half, and then the floating platform is on the bottom half. Still a solid wall though. So like, okay, you've got these two fantasy sci-fi layouts. I see some images, some little drawings on them. What's that? And how does the stage go back and forth between fantasy and sci-fi? Does it just switch every so often? No, it doesn't. But first, let's talk about these little hazards I've drawn. So for fantasy, the top left section is empty. There's nothing there. Nice and peaceful. On the right is some spikes on the ground. Step on the spikes, you get launched up a bit. Bottom left of fantasy is a tree stump that you can just walk around on and fight atop. Can't destroy it. And then the bottom right of fantasy is a little water pit. You can drown in there, so be careful. Typical water and Smash. The fantasy layout, top left, has an electrical plate. Stand on that, you get zapped, you get bumped up in the air. Kind of like the spikes, but it's electricity. Top right is a car that you can fight on top of. Like the tree stump, can't destroy it. Bottom left, there's nothing on the ground, but above you, there's a repulsor plate. Jump up, and it'll just smack you down if you make contact with it. Bottom right is completely empty. So yeah, so that's what they look like. But again, why are there two formats here? What does this mean? How do we stop between them? You said they don't change over time. They don't, because it's a split fiction. The stages, both of these layouts are active at the same time, but they're split. During the fight, there will be a line of energy, a harmless line of energy, so you can pass through it no problem. There'll be a line of energy that divides the stages. On one side will be the fantasy stage, the other side will be the sci-fi stage, and this line will be constantly moving around as the fight goes on. So sometimes you might see the spikes of fantasy, but then other times the line will shift around, and now you'll see the car there. So you have to be careful at some points. Like you think you're safe fighting in the car, but then if the line just changes while you're there, you fall, hit the spikes. You might be
Yeah,
fighting on top of the tree stump. You think you're okay. You get hit up. You're like, okay, it's fine. I'll just hit the ceiling up there. Oh, but then the line changed, and now there's the repulsor plate, and now it's going to smack you down to the ground. I don't
cool,
know
cool.
how
I like
well
it.
designed this stage is, but I wanted to make a stage for split fiction and incorporate both the fantasy and sci-fi elements in using a split line as the gimmick to deliver two formats at once.
Hmm.
I think that's the winning formula easily. Now, what the
I agree.
exact content and layout of the actual stage would be, that's something that's very much more up to design. But you gotta
Right.
have that split line to showcase all of it.
That's really cool. This is one of those times I don't think that we would be in a situation ever where we would get the stage without the characters, but I do think this is a thing where in the representation of Smash, it feels like the stage is kind of the sauce here. It's what makes split fiction and in game concept being represented in Smash. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I would have a very hard time if I tried to make Mio and Zoe into a playable character. I would love to try and do it someday, but I honestly don't really. I mean, they have plenty of abilities and tools that you could pull from to give them things to do, but I would want both of them to be active at a time, preferably not separated by a Sheik and Zelda transformation. I would prefer them to be an Ice Climbers type deal, but then they would be extremely disjointed because they'd be doing different things. And I wouldn't want like one to take action while the other just falls behind them. I want them both to be always together. And I don't know how workable it would really be with what I would want them to be able to do.
Well, Mio can use chakrams, and you can do the
Wrong, Mio. This
play the
isn't Xenoblade. There
Zoe.
are no chakrams in split fiction.
Zoe, too bad. Maybe in the sequel, Zoe can play around and play with dog toys and give you cuddles and stuff and lick you.
Um, that's definitely not in her personality type. So
That's the name,
no.
Sheepadoodle.
All right. I'm glad for you.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's the split fiction
and
stage I came up with.
very good, very good. I like it. It's really having not played the game. I don't know if there are better things you could place in those areas. But I mean, only because you're saying, "Oh, I don't know if it's a great stage or not." I think it is.
I mean, everything I included is something that you can encounter. And I
Right.
was having to come up with like, okay, I need relatively small ideas that could fit into these four quadrants.
Mm-hmm.
And I was struggling. I wanted to have something in each quadrant at first, but I was struggling to come up with a fourth thing that would fit well. It wouldn't just be another thing to just walk on top of. So I just was like, all right, we'll just have it be a blink area, have a little bit of safety.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, onwards to the end of our showcases, I suppose.
Yep.
Old Jonno's gonna bring you home to the post-apocalypse.
Oh God, not again.
Not again. Not like the times we're living in now aren't apocalyptic in any way. Um, yeah. So I made a moveset a while ago for Ellie, the primary character from the Last of Us series. Um,
Wait, but I thought Joel's the primary character.
not always.
Oh, I haven't played the second game yet.
He
I'll
he
get
steps
there.
out
It's
for a
on my
bit.
shelf.
Yeah, it's on the shelf.
Next year, I'm
Joel,
hoping.
I'm not sure what they did with his body after he was brutally murdered with a golf club. He might also be on the shelf in an urn.
What?
Oh, no, no,
If
no.
I hadn't been spoiled pre-game, I would be so mad.
It's one of those spoilers. I feel like it's like Sephiroth killing Eric. It's so prevalent in just every aspect of pop culture. Like most people know that that's what happened. So
And it doesn't. I mean, the show, all season two is already out. I'm assuming season two adapts the whole game. I don't know.
no, no, it
Really?
adapts. it adapts the Ellie side of the story. I'll just tell you that much. So next
The-
season, yeah.
okay, okay.
Mm-hmm. So it takes you up to a point that is important. And next season, I guess Abby will be the star, which will be interesting. How audiences will react to that.
Probably poorly.
Just like how they reacted very measuredly and maturely when things happened in The
All
Last of Us
y'all
Part.
giving Laura Bailey hate for voice acting a character you don't like. Jesus Christ, get therapy.
It's absurd. It's absurd. Um, but yeah, Ellie. Oh, you know what? No, Joel was buried. I remember that now. Sidebar. So yeah, Ellie is here.
Spoilers.
Ellie is here as as a playable character submission on Jonno's lovely Smashtopia and the smashtopia.fandom.com/wiki/Ellie_Williams.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, the central character, of The Last of Us, and a survivalist. So she has a kind of post-apocalyptic survivalist moveset. Um, let's get into it. So for her entrance, Ellie rides in on a horse, does not appear on the moveset. So you can thank me for that. I know. Ellie rides in on the horse, patting its side before getting into her battle stance as it walks off. The horse looks reminiscent of Callus from Star Wars Rebels, who she rode in
What?
The Last of Us and Left Behind.
What?
I'm just kidding. Her horse is named Callus, though, in the first Last of Us game.
Okay.
Um, her Kirby hat. Kirby gets a new hairdo that looks a lot like Ellie's default hair from Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, Ellie, time jumps in Part 2 and becomes more of a fighter and whatnot. And this is obviously it's her Part 2 form that is the primary here, or that is the basis of the character. For her up taunts, Ellie, paragon of social constructs that she is, totes whatever projectile weapon she used in her volley, which we'll get to, and she bluntly states beneath her breath, "I'm gonna kill every last one of them," which may include Mario, Donkey Kong, and Yoshi. Uh, Down taunt. Ellie rests her arms at her side and looks towards her feet, seemingly lost in thought. A few months later, she shakes her head, ready for battle, and sometimes she'll apologize and say, "Sorry, lost myself for a sec."
We all been there.
So, yeah, oh, yeah, haven't we? And side taunt, Ellie brandishes whatever melee weapon she currently has in use. For smaller weapons like the shiv or switchblade, she'll toss it up in the air and catch it by the handle. For larger weapons like a plank or a pipe, she'll spin it around once before patting it against her other hand a couple of times. In either case, she'll state, "Come and get me." Victory poses. Number 1, Ellie holds onto her necklace, her firefly necklace, while looking towards her feet. She solemnly says, "Joel, we did it." Ellie takes a seat on a wooden chair. Number 2, plaintively playing a portion of the Last of Us theme song on her guitar. And for number 3, Ellie thumbs through her infamous book of jokes, stating beneath her breath, "It's funny. All of these great jokes, and the biggest one was you guys." Wow, I
Oh,
forgot I
that's
wrote that.
good. That's
Yeah.
good.
She looks towards the camera and smirks when she reaches her punchline. Um, okay, into the crux of the move set, if you will, the move set. So her standard special is volley, reference to earlier in the taunts. So for volley, Ellie's go-to projectile weapon is the bow, which she'll take out and dish a standard shot with an arrow. If the special attack button is simply pressed, charge it and the arrow will travel faster and further, and with more intent, dishing out more damage and flinch capability than it otherwise would. The arrow's arcs do travel differently than Link's, though it's still a fairly basic move, very reminiscent of Link's bow and arrow. Hold the special attack button and one of the shoulder buttons simultaneously, though, and a wheel rung will appear above Ellie's head that showcases the bow alongside 2 other items, the bolt action rifle and the flamethrower. So you can select these other 2 items to use in the volley instead of the bow. Select the bolt action rifle, and Ellie will shoot out a potent, far traveling bullet that explodes into shrapnel upon impact, potentially damaging other opponents in the area once it makes its mark. It can travel about the distance of Final Destination, Jesus, before dissipating and dishes out more damage the more that it travels. Use it at close range, and you can break down shields quickly and stun opponents pretty much every time. You have 6 shots in the rifle before needing to reload, which is an animation that takes a decent amount of time for cool off. The flamethrower allows Ellie to throw flames in any direction that she sees fit, so long as the special attack button is being held, and it runs off of gas, so eventually it runs out and needs to wait a little bit of time for it to recharge.
I have a question.
So, yeah.
Okay, so special in shoulder button brings up the wheel. Let's say I pick the bolt action rifle. I do my shot. Now I finish my juice with special. Do I now just have the bolt action rifle, or do I have to do do I have to bring up the wheel to use it again?
You'll have the bolt action rifle. You'll need to
Okay.
use the wheel to select the other two.
Okay.
From there. Yep. Side special is Molotov. An old friend of ours, Ellie wields a Molotov cocktail and is able to angle it in an arc that she is able to manipulate with a transparent arrow dictating its projected location upon landing. Once it's thrown, the Molotov breaks, releasing the flammable contents inside and causing a fire. If it's on the floor, the fire will begin to spread and could carry itself far depending on what other flammable materials like other items or fighters or stage elements are there to encourage it. The fire causes less damage the further it goes along and the smaller that it gets. But toss it straight into an opponent and you will light them totally aflame for upwards of several seconds depending on their sensitivity to it, which is relative to how much damage they've already taken. Opponents will need to move around to try and break the flames off, like stop, drop, and roll. My God, how violent. Um, Up special is rope arrow. Ellie uses her bow, shooting a special arrow upwards. Rope is tied to the bottom of the arrow, allowing Ellie to immediately tether towards it. If the arrow strikes an opponent, Ellie will leap upwards and use them as a stepping stool, pulling them down and jumping off of their shoulders, kicking them downwards as she ascends upwards. Occasionally, she shouts thanks for the lift. She's able to angle the bow in a 180-degree upwards arc. The arrow travels up about as high as a standard arrow would and comes down quickly and somewhat sporadically if it doesn't make its mark in time.
Makes sense.
That's her recovery. Down special is bomb. So she's a Link clone.
Ah, great. First she's got a bow, next she's got a bomb.
Right. What's she gonna have next? Lamp oil? Her down special is bomb.
She's got the Molotov, so yeah.
Oh, there you go. And she has rope. Oh my God.
Yeah.
She would
Shit.
But yeah, Ellie is able to choose between 3 different types of bombs, just like she can with her standard special. So you can choose between a smoke bomb, a stun bomb, and a nail bomb. The smoke bomb works similar to the smoke ball item from Smash. It releases a cloud of smoke that can fill up a large circumference in a short period of time. So it obscures her movements, makes her harder to seek, even from certain enemies or assist trophies. Stun bomb, you toss it and it explodes in a pop like a Deku Nut does, dishing out similar properties, damage and knockback. And the nail bomb is more of a standard explosive. It has a bigger explosion and explodes in a bunch of nails that fly from out of it in all directions. So, similarly, far-reaching damage similar to Sheik's standard special, where it's like an AoE burst.
Is there a default to these, like there was with volley?
I didn't write that down, which is but I think it would be the smoke bomb.
Okay.
Final smash, and keeping it totally real and bound to the rules of the Last of Us world, which is fairly similar to ours, but including zombies. So it's fairly grounded, right? For Final Smash, which is Sam's robot. Sam, the kid with the robot from the first game. You might remember him. Yeah, Ellie reaches into her backpack, retrieving the Gundam-esque mech action figure stored in one of its side pockets and sets it on the floor in front of her, which is Sam's robot. She kneels down beside it, calmly pats it on the head, and says, "We can really use you right now." When suddenly, the mech toy flies off into the sky and returns into the background a split moment later as an actual life-size mech. The
What?
foreboding robot looms over the back of the stage, using its arm cannon to shoot zombies. There are runners, stalkers, and clickers all running through the stage suddenly in kind of this
Oh.
mad horde. And the Gundam-esque robot is shooting at them. So, runners are they're runners and stalkers and clickers. They're all different evolutions of the same cordyceps virus that you get and turns you into a zombie. So runners are basically human. They're just turned into zombies. They'll mercilessly punch and tear at their opponents. Stalkers are faster than runners. The virus has gone in further. They can grab onto a foe and gnaw at them. And clickers can kind of do everything. They can echolocate opponents, hone in on them, and just immediately make a move to go grab a hold of them and bite them and suck out their life points force for several minutes, like a like. So the zombies are shot um, out of they're shot out of the mech's arm cannon haphazardly, some landing on their feet while others fall on their face, potentially dying and disintegrating upon impact. But still, a dearth of zombies do make it onto the stage to wreak havoc, and Ellie is allowed to run around and dish damage in any way that she sees fit during their onslaught. The zombies will not harm Ellie, and she'll be seen uh, able to sidestep them anytime that they come through. And yeah, for some reason, I had that activating from out of a giant mech. I think I just wanted to fuck around.
That part's obvious.
Yeah.
When you said the robot was green, I was like, oh, okay, it's going to do a giant Iron Man unibeam. Sure, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Because
No, it's gonna
Ellie is all into the comic books that you can
traumatizing.
collect, and so I was like, okay, I can
Yeah.
see her using her imagination to power up this robot. Nope, we're shooting zombies out of the arm can. Okay, what the fuck?
Makes no sense. How
No,
great.
it doesn't. All right,
Hey, your extra
sure,
skill is Ellie's backpack, where she
sure.
kneels down, opens her backpack, and rustles for the right item. So again, option wheels. She can choose to carry a shiv, a plank, or a pipe. Once selected, she'll wield this weapon, and they have different animations: damage, knockback, and reach. They all, these become her standard weapons of attack for standard attacks. So fill Ellie's crafting meter just beneath her character portrait from 1 to 5 by pairing attacks, dishing out damage, or KOing opponents, and you'll have the opportunity to use an upgraded version of these weapons as well, which include the switchblade, baseball bat, and a pipe with scissors bound to its top. Selecting an upgraded weapon returns her crafting meter back to 0, which leads us into her unique traits. She has a crafting meter denoted by 5 small segmented bars that fill in with gold as she racks up points by, again, pairing attacks, dishing out damage, KOing opponents, yada yada. This meter affects the number of materials stored in her backpack, allowing her to upgrade to one of her weapons until she decides to swap out again. So, Ellie can also crawl. She has a series of alternate costumes, most of which are from the Last of Us games, including her attire from the first and second games. Naughty Dog t-shirt, jumpsuit, red flannel, hoodies based off of Jack and Clank, Joel's outfit, Dina's outfit, and Abby's outfit. And her home stage for the time being, this may change, just like the final Smash may change, to be honest with you, is Jurassic Park, where, it's a nice little reprieve in the original game where you get to look at giraffes and chill out for a bit. But that's her character. What do you think?
I would use the Naughty Dog T-shirt. Oh, probably.
There you go. There you
But
go.
I want to talk about Jurassic Park there because I read part of this move set. I didn't want to essentially spoil myself, so I only looked at a few things before I played the first game, and I was like, Jurassic Park, huh? I wonder what that location is like in the game. I played through the game, and I was like, I can't. There's no. What is this location? And I think it was like in the college or the university, whatever it was that you're exploring around to get further, and you just look out the window, and there's just giraffes, and they're just
Yep.
wandering. It's like these the giraffes are free; they're just out wandering, and they decided to make this place their home. It's like, oh, I guess this is Jurassic Park. Okay, I think I don't know if they already were or if they just become Ellie's favorite animal at that point. It's like,
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what I would pick as a stage, because the place that seemed the most important, I guess I would say, I don't really know how well they would work as a stage, like the Firefly base.
Right.
I don't know how that really work at the stage. Maybe oh god, I forgot his name. The prepper, Bill,
Mm-hmm.
I think. Bill's
Yeah.
Town. That
Yeah,
would
that'd be
probably
cool.
what I would go with.
Yeah.
But there maybe
If we
there's an
go,
even better location from the second game that I don't know about yet.
there is.
Hopefully, I'll play it next year.
There is a second. There is a location, and it's in the first game too. It's in the first game too, but not until the end.
Ooh. Oh, I just had
Mm-hmm.
an idea, but this would be more appropriate for Joel. Call the
Oh,
stage Outbreak. It starts out, it's the prologue of the game. Before things have gone fucked, so you just see a nice
you're gonna kill
neighborhood,
Joel
and then
Goodman.
everything starts going fucked, and zombies appear,
Yeah.
and things are blowing up.
That'd be pretty sick.
Oh man! All right,
Yeah.
so
So,
showcases are done. It's time to talk about the topic of the day, King Hippo. He is
uh,
only in two Punch Out games. Technically, well, no, yeah, only two Punch games. Punch Out on the NES, where he was the final opponent there, and Punch Out on the Wii, where he was the champion of the major circuit. And he, like every other person in the fucking game, he's a big ass cheater. They're all cheaters. Every single
yep.
fucking one of them. I think the only game
Yep.
where you don't have primarily cheaters is Super Punch Out. And even
Yeah.
then, I'm not so sure.
And that's why he ain't there, because he's a little fucking cheater.
I wouldn't call him little, but okay.
Oxymoron.
Hmm. So King Hippo is a big boy. I don't know about you, John, but I know when I was doing my research for him, like I started out looking at, I was like, okay, what can you do in the games? Just
Yep.
basic punches. Okay,
Yep.
that's kind of hard. These don't seem like special moves. I tried looking up boxing techniques. Like, okay, I can't really get anything off of this either. Shit, fuck. I
Yeah.
watched videos of hippos even in my research. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I had a hard time coming up with things, and we'll talk more about that when I get to the special moves.
Yeah.
But I honestly had more trouble King Hippo than I expected.
Yeah. We're recording this episode on a Sunday. I finished my King moves Hippo moves. I started and finished my King Hippo moveset on Saturday. Yesterday.
I finished mine a couple
And
weeks ago in about 2 hours.
it took me about 20 minutes, and I don't know
What the
how good it
fuck?
is. I don't know how good it is, but I same as you. I looked to the wiki, the Punch Out wiki, and looked up what he could do. Maybe some of that appears in this moveset, but there's not a lot to go off of
It's
with
not.
that alone. So what did I do? I looked into his character, his comical proportions, the way that he acts, the way that he eats, the way that he is hippo-esque, and we'll kind of get into that.
We will. But first, we got to enter into things with the entrance animation. So, for mine, you'll see King Hippo. He's going to start with his back to the camera as he pumps his fist upward, as if showing off to the crowd behind him, before he turns around and faces the combatants. Like boxers often will, at the start of a match, they'll be showing off to the crowd before they turn to their opponent.
Yeah, I like it. Well, let's see what I have in store. Pull out my printed notes here. Ah, King Hippo bursts through a manhole in the stage floor and shouts victoriously as he grabs the manhole in midair, flexing.
Very different.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Focusing on his beloved manhole.
please never say those words that way ever again. I am begging you. I'm going to put an immediate ban on those words. Jesus. All right, so what entrance are we going with?
Do you feel partial towards any of them? I don't really know. I
you've,
don't really
you've
know.
lost the plot, sir.
Yeah. Oh God.
Jesus Christ. I mean, here's what I would say. He's not a crocodile in the New York sewers.
It's not a lizard either from The Amazing Spider-Man.
Or alligators, whatever it is in the sewers. I don't know what people say about New York.
Yeah.
One of the
King
two.
Hippo. He wants to turn everyone into a hippo. It's a mad scientist.
He's not
Yeah, let's go.
Kurt Connors.
King Hippo's in a truck in my front yard right now.
Don't think so.
Yeah.
This is the tone of this episode, is it? You
No.
went balls to the walls nuts, didn't you?
Maybe.
Oh God. That might be okay in some places, but there's one move I'm gonna be very sad if I have to lose it.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, there's two moves I'll be very sad to lose. But we'll get there. So entrance animation.
Yeah, yours.
Okay.
Yours.
Kirby hat then. So I have that Kirby's going to wear King Hippo's silver crown atop his head, while also featuring a pair of crisscrossed bandages on his chest, because King Hippo, he's got a little boo-boo on his belly button.
Yeah. Kirby wears King Hippo's tiny crown and his belly bandage.
Perfect.
There you go.
I thought you were going to have the manhole for a bit there.
No.
You know, that would be funny if Kirby wore the manhole on top of his head, but since King Hippo has a crown, if he didn't though.
It would be funny if Kirby was the manhole and King Hippo stuffed him in his belly button.
Okay, now we're getting weird. We've gone in a place, and we're gonna go back to the taunts. So,
Indeed.
for my first taunt, King Hippo is going to pull a comically large turkey leg, and then quickly scarf it down in just 3 bites.
Nice. I like that. Whew. Okay, so here's one. King Hippo slams both feet down and holds his hands on his knees while looking ahead, almost in a sumo-like pose as he lets out a seriously hipporific snort, steam coming out of his nose and all.
That reminds me of something I wanted to mention. Well, King Hippo does have has dialogue in Punch-Out games. You never actually hear him speak. The only voice ones you ever hear from him is Hippo-like grunts and screams.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any quotes. I just only have him scream or grunt like in places. Or laugh, like in my second taunt, where King Hippo will laugh loudly, causing his shorts to fall down. King Hippo will then briefly panic as he reaches down to pick his pants back up.
King Hippo slaps his belly multiple times, and it jiggles quite a bit as he laughs.
I think those are going to get merged.
Yep, I think so too.
For my last taunt, King Hippo will face forward and let out a hippo-like scream as his crown shakes and lifts off his head.
Yeah. King Hippo raises his manhole like a championship belt until his pants fall down, which he quickly and embarrassingly moves forward to pull back up while the manhole falls to the floor and disappears.
Okay, I was about to ask there, do you have him wearing the manhole by default?
No.
Okay. Victory poses. For my first victory pose, King Hippo will bang his fist against his gut a couple times before roaring at the camera like a hippo.
A hungry hippo.
Oh, he hungry. We'll get there.
King Hippo. Okay, my first victory pose. King Hippo throws a whirling punch towards the camera, which falls to the ground with a cracked lens as he leans over it, laughing.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
For my second one, King Hippo will be seen sitting on the ground, surrounded by a pile of food, as he grabs fistfuls of meat and fruit and just shovels them down into his gullet.
King Hippo pounds his chest in ape-like, not hippo-like fashion, then roars like a hippo for good measure to follow it up. He kind of moves his head around, too, during this pose, like the MGM lion, and the camera zooms in on him as so.
Okay. For my last victory pose, King Hippo will squint as he holds up a colander to his belly, testing it out for its defensive
What?
capabilities.
What?
King Hippo will then quickly toss it aside and try a frying pan in its place before ultimately throwing it away too. And then finally, King Hippo will hold up a large manhole to his chest and look triumphant, believing he's finally found the ultimate defense for his belly. I also watched the cutscenes from Punch Out Wii that King Hippo is in. So like both of these last two victory puzzles are just straight things from the game.
Okay. Damn, I should have done that. That's
Should
cool.
have.
That's gonna be great. A turkey leg flies in from off screen towards King Hippo, who leaps into the air to catch it like Air Bud before taking a victorious bite.
Hold on. Hold on. You said he catches it like airbud. Is he catching it in his hand or in his mouth?
His mouth.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Good.
Okay, now for the inglorious task, as always.
Yep. All right. So our two laughing taunts are definitely being merged together. So like he'll have the slap his belly, laugh, and then his pants fall down part.
Agreed.
Beyond
And,
that,
yeah, my manhole is out, which makes that easy on the taunt end too to just cut one out right away. And now we get into the more indiscernible part of figuring out the rest.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. What were your other couple taunts again? Just
My other two
quickly.
taunts were the comically large turkey leg. Takes 3 quick
Yeah.
bites out of it, and then it's all gone. And then
Yeah.
facing forwards, letting out a hippo-like scream as his crown shakes and actually like lifts off his head before it settles back down.
Oh, okay. Okay. And as a reminder, mine was like his hippo snort. He's kind of posing forward.
Mhm.
I think that your hippo scream is a better version of that.
Okay.
Yep. So what is that? Is that 3 already? Oh no, that would make your turkey leg the 3rd.
It would.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Victory poses
Uh,
then.
Yeah. I like a couple of mine. Well, I think all 3 of mine are pretty decently strong, but the turkey leg already appeared in the taunt.
Yeah.
I like the other 2, and I am trying to again remember you. Oh, I remember the colander. I think that one where he's testing out the manhole is like auto in. That was really good.
I remember your MGM lion roar. What was your other one?
Where he punches the camera and then leans
Oh,
forward and laughs.
yes. Both of those with the trying out the different things for his belly.
Okay, yeah, I'm down with it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how the MGM lion post would have been
No, I think it's
received.
funny. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's Victory Plus. Is that record time? That might be record time, honestly.
It might be. That works.
God damn, that was like that was less than 13 minutes.
We clocked that in. We've clocked this in. That's great.
Now we're gonna clock some other people, right? What the fuck?
That was my
Punch
hippo
people.
sound.
That's horrible, and I'm not going to try and one up you because I don't want to blast my mic. But that was horrible. We're moving on. We're moving on. Jonno, what is your standard special for King Hippo?
Oh yeah, okay. Let's get reoriented here.
Please.
My my standard special is ear clap. So one of his signature moves in the game. King Hippo claps his massive hands beside his head, creating a shockwave. This is a short-range AoE projectile that deals minor damage while causing a quick stun effect. Charge this attack to briefly paralyze opponents for a longer period of time and even break shields. If his hands connect with you directly, it can deal a devastating shield-breaking blow even when uncharged. He has a bit of a wind-up to it, so it is telegraphable, but if it connects, it'll get you. So, like DK standard or Ganondorf standard, pretty hard-hitting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for my standard special, oh no, you got something else?
No, I was asking you what yours was.
Oh, and for my standard special, I'm also taking one of his more unique moves from the game. So I'm actually pulling from the NES game for this move.
Oh, nice.
This is Guillotine Punch. So this is his primary special move in the original NES version. King Hippo will open his mouth wide before rearing back and delivering a powerful punch forwards.
Nice.
Now, by pressing the special button at the right time, you can turn this attack into a combo that sends King Hippo punch up to 2 more times. Each punch will hit with about the same amount of damage, but each successive punch will increase the overall knockback at the end of the combo. Players will need to be
Nice.
careful, however, because only the last punch of King Hippo's combo will inflict any knockback. If the timing of King Hippo's punches gets messed up, the King Hippo will stumble and whiff his final punch, allowing his opponent to get away unharmed. Now, that said, if you don't try to press the button again, you don't try to go for the timing, then that will immediately end the combo and you'll get the knockback on the last punch. And so you only lose the knockback if you try to press the button and you fuck up the timing.
Mm-hmm. I really like that. I really like that. That's functionally it's punch out in a single move.
He is a big, heavy hitter, and going right for that with a triple punch just it makes sense for him. And I checked in the NES version, he can chain this move up to 3 times. I mean, each time in between punch forward, he again rears back and backs up a few steps, but I, cut that part out for Smash because we have to.
Yeah. Great. We got to a good start. My side special. Always Hippo time. That's not the name of it. That would have been funny. The side special is Hippo Stampede. So King Hippo stamps his feet, then lunges forward in a crushing shoulder rush. Super armor during the startup can be used as like a bull rush, funky side recovery move. So it's very haphazard. He's like wiggling his arms around all funnily over his head as he charges forward. And hitting a wall causes him to rebound and stagger briefly, bouncing from off of his belly and canceling the attack.
Okay. We have a similar base concept for our side specials in that it is a forwards momentum deal. Mine works a little differently, and I'm gonna have to demonstrate it.
Okay.
But let's read through things here first. So this is called Hippo Charge, although I do like the name Hippo Stampede. So King Hippo will start out by ducking his head down slightly, attempting to cover it with his arms as best he can, which, considering his body shape, would not be very easy.
Yeah.
But then once he does that, he's going to slowly charge forward across the stage. I wrote down the wrong words. Let me just fix that. King Hippo will barrel through minor obstacles in this state and will deal heavy damage to anyone he runs into. Additionally, if the special button is pressed while King Hippo is charging forwards, he will raise his head up slightly as he pulls both his fists back, one going diagonally up, the other going diagonally down, before he punches them back together to crush anything immediately in front of him, like the powerful jaws of a hippo. During the charge, King Hippo will take a decreased amount of damage from frontal attacks, because he's in a more defensive state. So this move, you mentioned the ear clap for your standard special. That's what this move started as. But I was like,
Yeah.
I need something more, because I didn't have the shockwave idea. I was just like just hit things with your clap them on the ear. So I was like, that's not enough. And then I was watching videos of hippos attacking other creatures. And it's like, I've got something here. So the way it looks.
Oh my god.
And if you're not watching the video, you're not going to see this. But
watch the video.
He crouches down, covers his head up with his hands, charges forward, and he'll go like that diagonally to crush you, as if his fists were the hippo's jaws.
You've dialed in for this one. I can imagine Sakurai in a room doing this.
When the fuck don't I dial in, motherfucker?
Viewers, leave a comment in our YouTube section to let them know.
Wow.
Just kidding. Well, that was also really good. Jesus. Up special for me. Manhole launch. King Hippo flips his iconic manhole cover beneath his feet and uses it to vault upwards. He's throwing it down, jumping off of it. Strong vertical recovery, can use standard or special inputs in midair or cancel out early. He plummets faster than most characters if you choose to free fall, obviously. The manhole cover falls down and causes light, mid, heavy damage depending on how far it's falling, and it can be picked up and tossed or used by other fighters. Ta-da.
Okay, I need to make sure I understand this one correctly. So, manhole, like he's standing on top. You hit the up special. Manhole appears beneath him. He stomps on it. It flips, sending him upwards. But the manhole is also going upwards, and then it will eventually fall down while King Hippo is going up.
How I kind of envisioned it was he has the manhole cover in his hands,
Mm-hmm.
like, whoop, and then puts it underneath him and jumps off of it.
Okay.
Which, yeah, and then it falls beneath him and to the ground.
Oh, okay.
How else it could work? I mean, he could just make the jump and have that hippo like incredible jump and just throw the manhole down underneath him. I think that might look more correct. But I don't know. I thought the weird cartoony intent of just like setting it underneath them for no reason. I mean, it fit Punch Out a little bit. I
Yeah.
feel, so.
I feel like cutting for a time, it'll probably just spawn under him because I'm picturing him like holding it, place it under him, and then jump on. It's like that seems like a long animation for an up special because you want to get up quick.
Maybe, yeah.
But beyond that, yeah.
Okay, sweet.
My up special is similar in concept again because it's up its own ability.
Hippo cup.
Hippo drop actually.
Nice.
King Hippo will crouch down towards the ground before rocketing upwards with surprising speed and power. Unfortunately for King Hippo, he doesn't fly up nearly as high as he hoped he would. So once he reaches the height of his jump, he'll instead adjust himself so that he's sitting in the air, and then he will plummet down towards the ground ass first. And when he makes impact, he'll cause a small tremor around him, as well as inflicting extra damage and burying anyone he lands directly on top of. If King Hippo hits someone midair while he's plummeting, he'll end up spiking them straight down.
Sweet. I like that. Oh yeah, down special's what we do next on this show.
Down.
Let's go down like King Hippo's ass.
Yes.
It's gut guard, my down special. King Hippo braces his belly and leans forward with his manhole covering his belly. Most incoming attacks will bounce off of his stomach as he becomes covered in super armor from the manhole cover, and he can also absorb some projectiles with reduced damage. The longer he stays in this phase, the more exhausted he becomes holding up the manhole cover, and eventually he has to relent, drop it, and cool off sometime in between using this move and using it again. You can also tilt the control stick in any direction while using this move, and King Hippo will launch into an offensive instead, launching his manhole forward, jettisoning it off in the direction that he chooses, from off of his belly to hurt his foes.
We once again have a very similar base concept, but we went in different directions. Mine is much more similar to King K. Rool's version of Gut Check. But I'm calling this Belly Bounce. So King Hippo will grunt as he briefly flexes his bountiful belly and juts it outward. Frontal attacks are Oh, whoops, that's the wrong word. I wrote down useful. It's supposed to be useless. Ha. Yeah. Frontal attacks are useless against King Hippo when he's in this state, with the exception to those with piercing qualities or more powerful attacks, such as the Daybreak or Final Smashes. Additionally, if a fighter runs into King Hippo's belly or hits it with a melee attack, they'll be forcefully bounced backwards away from King Hippo as if his belly was made of rubber.
I like that.
Monkey D. Hippo. Okay. We're just blowing through this one, I feel like.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Happens sometimes. Final smash for me. Hippo Hurricane. Here he is. Rock you like a hippo hurricane. King Hippo traps his foes in the corner with a more dramatic ear clap. So, he comes in just like that. Trapping anyone caught in it in a hurricane of hits. So, I went with the ear clap because it's a direct move, but it's also kind of an AoE, so you can have it extend out a little bit.
Right.
and trap opponents into a hurricane of hits. So this is similar on the base concept to Little Mac's Final Smash. But unlike Little Mac's similar Final Smash, King Hippo will also put his belly to use, using it and his manhole to attack as well. So he's like punching, using his iconic punches from the game, but also throwing his belly at his opponents and really getting in there with that big rubbery thing. And then he finishes it off with a devastating 1-2-3 blow of guillotine punch upper hooks, replicating his star finisher from the first punch out.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, my final smash is the 2-ton hippo flop.
What?
So
What
first
did
of
you call
all,
me?
now you're not 2 tons. So that's 4,000 pounds, which typically hippos are not
yet.
not
You
2
don't know
tons
what
either. I actually
Yeah.
did look up to see like the average weights of hippos for this move title. They're not, or not. No, I said 4,000. They're I don't remember now, but they're not hippos are not 2 tons. But I was like, okay, when I was looking at this, I was like, all right, larger hippos it'd be like a little under 1.5. I was like, all right, so we're just gonna up the value because King Hippo is big, and if I just call this 1-ton hippo flop, that doesn't sound cool. That sounds kind of lame. 2-ton hippo flop though. There we
Kirby's
go.
1 ton when he drops down as a 1 ton barbell thing. So.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So, what is this move? King Hippo will wind up a punch before lunging forwards with more horizontal range compared to his guillotine punches typically, and he will knock anyone he hits with it into a boxing ring cinematic. You'll even hear like the little bell as he hits people with it. This cinematic will now take place inside of a specially designed boxing ring that takes its design cues from King Hippo, Hippo Island, and just hippos in general, instead of being like the standard WVBA boxing ring. And you'll see King Hippo's opponent, because he only hits one person in this. His opponent will look around confused in the middle of the ring. He's like, how did I get here? What the oh god. And as they're looking around and they see, oh god, that's when the camera pans over to the side to see King Hippo standing on top of one of the ring's corner posts. Now, this is not really a boxing, this is more of a wrestling thing. Anybody that knows wrestling knows exactly where I'm going with this. Except I'm going beyond, because it's Smash and it's King Hippo. So, King Hippo is going to be, as he's standing up on the ring's corner post, he's going to be hamming it up to the crowd before he leaps an astonishing height up into the air. And as he's flying up into the air, King Hippo is going to be pulling off multiple flexing poses as he shows off to his fans, both flexing his arms and his belly, because, I mean, that's his primary feature, before he reaches the height of his leap, and then he reorients himself in the air to be belly down, roaring like a hippo as he belly flops down onto the ring and smashes into his opponent. Once the scene ends, King Hippo's soul will be sent flying away with heavy hippo damage.
I almost thought you said King Hippo's soul will be flying away. It's like, what the
No.
hell? Yeah.
It's I took the jumping off the ropes from wrestling and I combined it with doing a belly flop in a pool.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like where you succeed quite often is with the Final Smash. Like really, really well.
I'm not afraid to do a lot of cinematics because they give you more freedom than anything else. Like, do we wish we had less cinematics? Yes, but when it comes to creative freedom, you can do anything.
Right. Okay, let's round it on up with that extra skill, then get into the deliberations.
Oh, yes.
You want to know my extra skill for King Hippo?
I do. Do you have one?
Well, he's a hungry hippo. He's a hungry hippo guy. I named my extra skill Hungry Hippo.
I'm terrified.
So, you should be. So when you start the extra skill, King Hippo begins shoveling food into his mouth in a disgusting fashion, like garbage being shoved down the garbage disposal and just being swallowed whole into his guttural mouth hole thing, such as Giant turkey legs, giant hamburgers, giant fried chicken, giant chocolate bars, and he's just pounding this shit down
Don't tell
all
Doc
down his
Lewis.
throat like it's nothing. Yeah, giant tacos, giant Thanksgiving tacos. If uninterrupted, his weight will increase dramatically and temporarily. Watching his and his belly will glow to signify that he is full. Glow gold. His overall movement becomes worse because he's he's like 1.5
He's
times
tripled
larger
his
than he
weight.
was. Yep. But he can deal even harder hitting, more devastating blows to his opponents while experiencing an awesome defensive buff. So it's like you're down special in a way because foes are trying to attack him, and most of those attacks are just bouncing off of him. And he is just like awesomely powerful, but very slow moving. It has a very long cooldown time, so I have it. I wasn't sure if this should be like a stock thing, like once per stock, or have it cooled. Right now, it's cooling down for a minute before it can be used again. Because this is a long activation time leading up to it. Like he's eating this food for several seconds before he's full to initiate this attack. So I feel like it's balanced enough. If he's interrupted while feasting, he'll drop some of that food, which can be eaten by anyone and deal a lot of healing percentages. So there he is.
All right. So, for my extra skill, you may have noticed I have not used the manhole at all in any of my moves.
Yeah.
Where is this big piece of King Hippo? He used the manhole to cover himself up and protect his weakness. So where is it in my moveset? Well, it's here. But
Yeah.
it's not the only thing here.
The colander's there too, right?
It's funny you mentioned the colander. And
Yeah.
wasn't there also a frying pan?
Yeah.
I think there was. So
Yeah.
let's read this here. Extra skill, reinforced belly. King Hippo's extra skill comes in the form of a meter mechanic, but unlike many others, King Hippo cannot do anything himself to make the meter charge up faster. This meter will charge up over time, but the process will be sped up whenever King Hippo takes damage, and only when he takes damage. This meter has 3 different levels of charge. When activated at level 1, King Hippo will strap a colander to his belly. At level 2, a frying pan, and at level 3, the manhole. Now, depending on what he has equipped to him, will depend on what kind of defensive buff is applied to him. The colander applies a defensive buff of 10%. Well, let me actually know how to reword that. It gives him a 10% defense buff. So any attacks do 10% less damage. I don't mean, if this attack does 10% damage, now it does 0. No, it now deals 9% damage. That's what I mean, just to clarify that. This is also only against frontal attacks. This doesn't make sense to work in his rear. The frying pan protects from 20% of the damage, and the manhole is 30%. Now, if you're thinking 30% protection, that sounds like a lot. It does until you actually do the math. And I did the math. I looked at specifically Ganondorf's side smash, the classic Doria, and to see what it would actually turn into. Ganondorf's side smash does 33.6% damage on smash, and that's at full charge. So with the 10% buff from the colander, it takes it down to 30.2% damage. The 20% from the frying pan makes it be 26.9, and the 30% from the manhole only reduces down to 23.5. So it's actually not a huge amount.
Right.
But I didn't want to go too much further than that for an extra skill. And obviously it'll wear off over time. The instrument will fall off, and he'll have to rebuild his meter again.
I wonder if King Hippo in the next Punch-Out game will find a way to revolutionize his behind too. Cover that thing up.
Well, people don't typically punch at your ass in a boxing match.
Well,
So,
things change.
I mean, sure. Sure.
That's the next game. Punch-Out, ass punchers.
I
Only on the
fuck?
Switch too.
Take your meds, Grandpa.
This has been a day. Okay, I like that. That's a nice extra skill to bring it home.
Yep.
Do we
So
wanna do
what
other
we
skills?
doing with these?
what we doing with these is a good question.
I think the
Um,
the easiest spot is up special. That one's gonna be yours.
is it? I liked yours. I liked yours quite a bit. To
Well,
be honest with you, up front, I think you've rooted me on this episode. I think each of your moves are better than mine.
I
However, are there ways to and I don't want to do the thing that,
you don't do the
I
throw
feel like
now.
sometimes we do this with guests where to be completely frank, where it will be like we want to throw them a bone, so let's just compromise on the move set and do something, to appease that, and appease their time, and it's a collaborative project and it's fair and it makes sense to do so. Here for the integrity of the move set, I wonder if we just go with yours, or if we're feeling merciful, look through mine and see if we can put some elements of that into yours and go from there. What are you thinking?
I think I think if we're gonna combine anything, I think the easiest one to combine would probably be the down special.
Mm-hmm.
Because Hippo Drop can't really combine the manhole while also having him do the drop itself. Because like, okay, now we're dropping two things. That doesn't really make
Mm-hmm.
sense. The side special, I have to be reminded of the exact properties yours, but I don't know how well those could be combined either. And the Santa specials are incompatible.
Right, right. Just like they said about you and me, but look how far we've come.
I don't like that.
um, yeah, I think elements of sorry, the down special. I mean, my down special is effectively, it's almost just like a version of yours. Like I can send you those notes, and if anything makes sense to include, go ahead.
Well,
But
we'll read them out. We got time.
yeah. Um, he braces his belly and leans forward. I have the manhole covering his belly in this movie, doesn't have to. But most incoming attacks will bounce off of his stomach as he becomes covered in super armor and can absorb some projectiles with reduced damage. The longer he stays in this phase, the more exhausted he becomes. That's because he's holding the manhole, though. So I had like him bouncing the manhole off of his belly was like effectively the difference in the move.
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe some absorption of projectiles would make sense for um, his rubber belly. But other than that, I don't know.
Mine he's immune to frontal attacks
Yeah,
during this,
yeah.
but it's a counter, so it's like very
Mm-hmm.
short, whereas yours can be held down. And
Right.
I don't have super armor on mine, but it should have super armor.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. I don't know what more to say. I think we're done here. I think that's what we do.
I guess so. I mean, I both like when it's all mine because I already typed up everything and it's just really easy to put it on. But at the same time, it's just like I feel kind of bad.
Well, hey, I put my shit together in 20 minutes. This is what I get. The side special was very different, but I think that mine could be easily adapted into another character if I so felt like it. Yours is much more. Again, it's incorporating the ear clap, which I like that you're using his more signature move from the Wii version, as well as the your what's really the best thing I think about your move set is how wholly indicative. Like you say that punch out is hard to derive from, but you went to the well and derived as much as you possibly could for the character. So paying attention and care to understanding. He doesn't just have a manhole cover; he has a colander and a frying pan, and using all three of those things, which I feel is like a uniquely you thing to do and understand and research and pay care towards. um, the guillotine punch is a fucking great move. I think that is so indicative of Punch Out in a way that Mac is a straight boxer and Smash doesn't even encapsulate, and it makes sense for a really big guy like King Hippo to be the one to do it. Um, the up special, it's funny.
What else could I do? What else could
Yeah.
I do? It
And
was
then just
that.
going with the flamboyancy, like the pageantry, of the final smash. It makes sense for King Hippo. So I think, I've made a functional King Hippo moveset. In some regards, it may be closer to the truth of what we get if King Hippo were to be in Smash. But I think in this case, with the extra creative juice, you've stepped beyond what is normal or what is to even be perceived as what most people would guess. I think I've gotten it closer to what most people would speculate. You've gotten it closer to what would be really great.
At one point,
And
one of
plus
the
that,
contests for Guillotine Punch was just going to be like, all right, we're going to steal from F-Zero. It's going to be
yeah.
Hippo Punch, and there's going to be a Hippo translucent image like Captain
Oh, that'd
Falcon's
be great.
Falcon Punch. That was one of the ideas, but I was really struggling. It's like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to do that. I don't want to steal F-Zero Thunder because all my F-Zero characters have a similar theme for their standard special. I don't want to steal that here.
Yeah.
But
Well, you did great,
Guillotine
and
Punch.
I wouldn't feel bad about having all your moves being used because that happens in the opposite direction sometimes. It's the name of the game.
Yeah.
I sure don't give a shit. So there you go.
Well, a couple last things to do then with King Hippo. First of all, any special abilities, unique traits? Can this boy double jump? Can he wall jump? Can he crawl?
Do you think that with his belly exposed in normal circumstance, he should be like extra, like potential to be extra hurt by it?
Now I did think about that. I didn't write it down, but I did consider that idea.
Yeah.
Because actually, what I had thought about was actually a reversal of that, where instead of his belly being weaker, his head would be stronger. Kind of like a reversal of Bowser Jr., where if you hit the Koopa Clown car, then he takes less damage. So I thought
Right.
maybe reversal that the head, but it was like the head is also such a small target. Why would you give the special defense to that? That doesn't make any sense, really. Who's going to hit him? Who's going to end up hitting him there? But making him be weaker on the belly, thus giving you a reason to use reinforced belly, and also a reason to use the defensive capabilities of Hippo Charge and Belly Bounce does make a lot of sense. How much it should be weaker?
Not like incredibly much. Like you want to make the character be feasible to use.
Let's look at the Doria stats from Ganondorf again. So doing the reverse of where I was reducing things, let's say if it was a 10% reduction, so he takes 1.1 times damage from attack on his front, that would be going from Doria would go from 33.6 to 36 point. Actually, no, it'd be 37 if we round up.
Mm-hmm.
That's already a pretty decent weakness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Out of curiosity, if it was 20%. Oh boy, it goes up almost a full 7 points. 7%.
I think keeping it in the first option might work.
Yeah, I think so. So we'll say that he takes 1.1 times damage to attacks on his bountiful belly.
Indeed. Should he is there any reason for him to have a KL meter like Little Mac?
No. I looked at that, but he does not have... Little Mac and Doc Lewis are the only characters in Punch-Out to have a star meter. To have any star punch, because Doc Lewis invented the technique.
There you go. Doc Lewis somehow made it possible for a little bar to appear underneath your body.
Yep.
To make you charge up. Yeah.
Or
if anyone could,
I think it might be above in Punch-Out weight. But anyways, yeah. He created the star punch and he taught the Little Mac. Because I looked to see like, okay, maybe all Punch-Out characters could have this star mechanic. Well, actually, no. That would not make sense. So.
Yep. Just like Little Mac can't clap your ears.
Yeah, I could. Anybody can. Anybody can just do this. It's literally anybody could do that.
Well, but he doesn't.
He doesn't, but he could.
And yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's true.
If you've got two arms and you can make fists with both your hands, you can do it.
Oh wow, that felt good. Yeah. That's about it. I don't think he can do anything else. I don't see him doing the duck walk.
He's not getting an extra midair jump. He's not wall jumping. It'd be funny.
He might just
but
in
it's
water.
not.
Like, it's just like yes. Oh, actually, hippos can swim.
I also feel like his double jump would probably be one of the worst. He would get very little additional height. But like Little Mac, I don't think King Hippo's air game is going to be that good.
He's grounded. He is a grounded unit. It's going to be a very interesting character to play as.
Yeah, a heavy hitter. While he has that belly weakness, he is a bit of a tank type character.
For sure.
So as for our alternate colors, I've written down a few options. Colors based off of his sprite from the NES version. Granted, and I'm just saying like the color of his shorts, his shoes, and his gloves, and sometimes his crown. Actually, I don't think his shoes change any of my alts. Just the shorts, gloves, and sometimes the crown. A color is based off of his rather sad appearance in the Captain N show. There's an alt based off of the top scratch off card that he got from the NES. I think it was NES. Might have been around the Wii. I'm not really sure. There's a Japanese doodle where he looks embarrassed holding up his shorts. So an alt color based off of that. And then alts based off of certain characters in their color outfits. Nick Bruiser, the champion from Super Punch-Out. Piston Hondo's title defense outfit from Wii. Aaron Ryan, Glass Joe. Mike Tyson from the arcade version of the game.
Incredible. Yeah, Glass Joe, I had a cosmetic change in mind where he gets Glass Joe's hair.
I don't have that, but I do have it being that his crown becomes red to represent how in Glass Joe's title defense fight, he's got that protective headgear on.
Cool. What cosmetic changes would there be for Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson, King Hippo's shorts and shoes become black, his boxing gloves become red, and his crown becomes gold.
Okay. Very nice.
King Hippo has a silver crown, but Mike Tyson, a little bit above that, so gold. The original champion.
Up until he let his ass get beat by Jake Paul.
I was gonna say up until he bit someone's ear off, but
Evander Holyfield, they got back together and they made ear-shaped CBD gummies together and sell them.
Now you too can eat a man's ear.
Yeah, it's much easier than the old way of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Home stage.
Home stage. The last thing to talk about. I struggled a little bit because there's no other place in Punch Out besides the boxing ring, and like in Wii, you have the cutscenes where Doc Lewis is training Little Mac. It's like, okay, yeah, there's the Punch Out gym, but I already designed that a year or two ago for Doc Lewis's home stage. And like we know King Hippo is from Hippo Island, but what is Hippo Island? What does this place look like? If there's no picture of what it looks like, I can't design anything for it.
Yeah.
And then I watched the cutscenes from Punch Out Wii. And we have pictures of Hippo Island. It's like, all right, Hippo Island.
Won't you come to Hippo Island?
What?
It's the place where hippos live.
What?
Won't you come to Hippo Island?
Are there any other words in this, or is it just these words over and over?
Smashtopia wiki sometime.
What?
Yeah.
So
Hippo Island it is.
Okay. Did you have any concepts for it?
No. Did you?
No. Did you know that Hippo Island is actually a real place, though?
I've read about that, and I was like, oh, how
It's around Antarctica, but King Hippo's Hippo Island is not that same island.
Yeah. I think King Hippo's is like Southeast Asia, which is.
I thought it was it's in the South Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, we have fake Hippo Island in the South Pacific and real Hippo Island around Antarctica.
Yep.
What? Okay. Sure. Why not?
Right.
Hey.
Hoi, hoi, baby.
Hoi yo doi yo yo. All right.
Hippo. If King Hippo did anything besides grunt, he would probably say hoi, yo, yo, hoi.
No, I don't think it would.
Doodle bob
Okay,
would.
well, that's King Hippo done. I guess
Yeah.
my King
Hell of
Hippo
a guy.
done. Our King Hippo done.
Oh, I gave
This
you a couple constant victory poses.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
I
the
did give you
shortest notes this time that you've ever given me.
the thrilling concept of Hippo Island, a boxing ring built on sand shaped like a hippo with manholes abound.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
That was fun. Hooray.
way. That's this episode done, I guess. Next time on Super Cast Brothers, it's a Smash or Dash with a guest. And this time around, this is actually an episode that we have been trying to do for 3 or 4 seasons, but it just keeps getting kicked down further down the line for a variety of reasons. But it's finally going to happen. This episode is featuring 4 characters that are all nameless player avatars in, I would call them all serious open world games. I think that's a good way to describe all. One of them I'm a little less sure if it's actually open world or not. But the other 3, yeah. Yeah.
You think any of the characters from this matchup coming up would make hippo noises?
I mean, they all could. Like, theoretically, anybody could. They could all do it. Would they only do it? No.
Would they opt to do it? Would they want to do it?
Well, they're all nameless player avatars, so they would all want to do whatever you, the player, wants them to do.
Oh, you know, one of them would say, Hippo da.
Okay. Doesn't make much sense to me, but all right. Anyways, we'll see you all then. Bye-bye.
Yeah. See ya. Hippo time.